Hi, my name's Janice and I live in Abergavenny in Monmouthshire. I care for my husband George. He has had a severe depression for almost 2 years now. I think this word carer has only come about since I met Michelle, which was 6 months ago. So I hadn't recognised that that was the role I was in. There was very little explained to me in the differences between psychiatrist, psychologist, a counsellor, a CPN is thrown in, and then when we're promised a CPN, what does that person do? So there's very little support for the carer from the health service. Well, we've had excellent services in the area we are for my husband. I think because he'd had a spell of depression previously as well, they were quite keen for him to see the psychiatric doctor and to look at different forms of medication. But for me, I would have liked some support that somebody said who from that team would give me 5 or 10 minutes, to hear how things are, because I might have to talk about things that I have found very unpleasant in front of my husband. So if he's suffering from depression, that hearing those things from me may only make him worse. You want the medical people to hear how things have been. You can come over as being quite somebody who's very demanding. So the situation one day ended up, because perhaps I'd been saying, well look, George is like this at home and it's constant and he never does this and this happens. I was advised to see a marriage counsellor. So how I could fit that into the schedule we had in terms of caring for George, and what would a marriage counsellor feel if I turned up with somebody who was obviously suffering from severe anxiety and depression? They wouldn't be experienced, I'm sure, to deal with somebody like that. Well, I think if they haven't really given me the time, to find out how, my husband has been, if there were any problems. Perhaps he didn't want to take his medication, but nobody ever asked me that. And also as I say, to describe how the other person is behaving. All of that would contribute towards him having the right treatment. But if they don't ask the person who's there all the time, how can they know? And I'm sure they're very experienced at dealing with all sorts of personalities, but if somebody bucks up and is cheerful during their appointment with the doctor, it's not a true representation of how they are during the hours, the days, the months and the weeks between appointments.